Welcome back to the Deep Dive. Today, we are taking on the Book of Revelation. Our mission is pretty simple, really. We want to cut through the jargon to find the guidance, not a crystal ball, but context.
Exactly. And we always start with this core idea that the Bible is a compass, not a map.
A compass, not a map.
Right. You won't find street names for tomorrow's events, but you are given the ultimate direction the world is heading. And that helps make sense of the chaos you see today.
Okay, so let's unpack this. The flow of Revelation can seem confusing.
It can.
You have chapters 4 and 5 setting the scene in heaven. Then 6 through 11 are these chronological events, the seals, the trumpets, all happening on earth.
Right, the what is happening.
But if you want to understand why it's happening, you have to look at chapters 12 and 13. And that's where we meet the worldly powers Satan uses, the beast. Let's talk about that beast, because John sees it rising out of the sea, and it is just this mashup of features.
It's an intense image.
7 heads, 10 horns. And its body is like a leopard. It has the feet of a bear and the mouth of a lion.
And what's so fascinating is that this isn't some random monster. It's a direct reference, a callback to the 4 great beasts that the prophet Daniel saw centuries earlier.
Daniel's beasts. Okay, so the lion was Babylon.
The lion was Babylon, the bear was Media and Persia, and the leopard was Greece. Those were the great empires.
So John, writing in his time, sees a new beast that combines the worst parts of all 3. What does that signify?
It signifies continuity. John was essentially telling the first century church, look, the persecution you're facing from the Roman Empire, the 4th beast, this isn't new.
It's the same enemy.
It's the same enemy, the same spirit of rebellion and domination, you see. It's just wearing a new mask. It connects their present struggle directly to a historical pattern that Daniel had already laid out.
And the people reading this letter back then, they would have had clear evidence that this was Rome.
Oh, absolutely. The beast had 7 heads.
The 7 hills of Rome.
Exactly. And it had 10 horns, which Daniel himself defined as kings that would rise from that empire.
So they weren't just vague metaphors for them.
Not at all. In fact, one really compelling historical interpretation views those horns as specific Roman emperors. The text mentions 1 horn uprooting 3 others, which lines up chillingly with the chaos after Emperor Nero's suicide. You had those 3 short-lived soldier emperors, Galba, Otho, and Vitellius, who were all swept away before Vespasian and his son Domitian, a fierce persecutor, took firm control.
Wait, hang on. That is incredibly specific. Are we certain John's audience would have made that exact connection to Nero's succession crisis?
Okay.
Isn't that reading our history back into their text?
That's a really important question. And maybe they didn't know all the specific names, but they definitely understood the pattern. The power of the beast was obvious in Domitian's persecution.
Right, demanding loyalty through things like emperor worship.
Precisely. The takeaway isn't about memorizing emperors. It's recognizing that the beast symbolizes any power structure that demands absolute loyalty over God.
Okay, so if we connect this to the bigger picture, Rome fell, but you're saying that pattern continues.
Yes.
So it's no longer Caesar forcing worship, but the mechanism using political and economic power to enforce loyalty and persecute the faithful, that's still at play today.
It is absolutely still at play. The beast represents any nation or government rulers, presidents, who use political and economic systems for personal desire, for control, instead of for justice. And, this is shockingly relevant.
How so?
Statistics from 2024 show that 1 out of every 7 Christians worldwide experiences a high degree of persecution. On average, over 13 Christians lose their lives every single day because of their faith. The beast's activity is ongoing.
That context.
Yeah.
It changes everything. This deep dive shows that all this chaos and persecution, it's foreseen. It reveals God's will, even if it's painful to see.
And that compass tells us that the root of these worldly powers is, it's fundamentally linked to desire and greed, no matter how stable or great the world looks on the surface.
You may not get a map for tomorrow.
No, but we know the direction.
We know the direction the world is fundamentally headed.
And here's a final thought for you to consider. Knowing that this long history of persecution was foretold, and that it continues right now, how does the knowledge that God already knows the world's ultimate direction change how you approach fear and live boldly today?